creator or come back to the body. That's why he had to make sure that he is dead. That was a sign that he had to do to make the Jews, of course, believe. Now, forget about the buildings, forget about everything over here. We know that this is the spot. But some of the people coming over here would always talk about Lazarus, raising of Lazarus. That's a very important miracle. Yes, it is one of the most important miracles that shows that no one can raise the dead but God, isn't it? And over here, Jesus is God. There's no one through the course of history has ever done it, isn't it? So, what's the thing over here? Is there something hidden more important than Lazarus' resurrection? Yes, indeed. I'll tell you. Just be with me for a couple of minutes. Now, you usually read John 11 and John 12. Okay? Over here, it's irrelevant. You have to take John 12, put it instead of John 11, and you start reading logically. Why is that? Because if you go to John 11, it says the Lord comes into Bethany. He comforts the sisters. He raises Lazarus. He does lots of the things over here. But then if you jump to chapter 12, what does it say? 6 days before Passover, Jesus comes into Bethany. But just a second, in 11, he is already in Bethany. Yes? So we take chapter 12, we put it in chapter 11, and I start 6 days before Passover, the Jewish Passover, Jesus comes into Bethany. John is telling us the day of the crucifixion of the Lord. John is telling us something more important than the raising of Lazarus. What's happening? I need to go back to Exodus chapter 12. Listen to what God is talking to the Israelites in Exodus chapter 12. He says to them, you, the people of Israel, that's in Egypt, on the 10th of April, Nisan in Hebrew it is April. You see, on the 10th of April, you take the lamb of sacrifice, you put it aside for 4 days to check if it is with or without spots or blemish. If it is with spots or blemish, you're not allowed to have the sacrifice. If it is without spots or blemish, it's good for the sacrifice. You have to check it for 4 days. Okay? So if Exodus says that on the 10th of April up till the 14th, that's 4 days, yes? You check the lamb of sacrifice. Jesus comes into Bethany 6 days before Passover, which means that on the 8th, he comes in Bethany, isn't it? What does he do over here? He doesn't move. It's only a 20-minute walk. I told you, 5-minute drive, 20-minute walk. Jerusalem is up there. What does he do? He raises Lazarus. He comforts the sisters. He's anointed for his death. He had dinner with Simon the leper. And then on the 10th, what does he do? He leaves this place. You have to test the lamb of sacrifice if it is with or without spots or blemish. 20-minute walk. He goes into Jerusalem. He's tested by the Pharisees. He was found without spots. He comes back over here. He's tested by the Herodians. He's tested by the Sadducees. You remember all these testings? Of course, if someone has a wife and then her husband passes away, of course, they're writing down on the floor. He's tested by the authorities. On the 14th, he was found without spots or blemish. That's why on the 15th, that was a Friday. How do we know now? I'll tell you in a minute. He was the true lamb of sacrifice on the cross, replacing what? The animal sacrifice. That's it. No animal sacrifices.